Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news to go talk about between the big battle between the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which, in this day and age is kind of funny still to talk about, but we have a chance to go do a deeper dive into the analytics and kind of seeing that this is actually way closer than everyone's been expecting. Now, kind of been the usual narrative, and sometimes I kind of agree on this, mainly because if we look at more of a global wise, the PlayStation 5 has outselling the Xbox Series X and S by a huge, massive margin. So think like China, think like Australia, Japan, UK, and all those other regions, and in all honesty, it's just how the numbers are, the PlayStation has been doing phenomenal in comparison to, well, the Xbox Series X and S. But for this, we kind of want to go back and bring it back a little bit to America, which has kind of been the big battlegrounds over here of where and how the best sales are going, the best consumer spending, us up here in America, let's go, we like to spend that money, and as well, just kind of where the overall, I guess, global spot is right now between the two consoles. So to talk about this because it is way closer than expected, and it kind of seems like Xbox has kind of given PlayStation a pretty good run for its money, at least here in America. So make sure you guys give me your thoughts and comments down below. Subscribe with those notifications on. We'll have another giveaway run up on the channel soon as well. We also do have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. And of course, check out the Target Amazon links. And let's dive into this kind of interesting and kind of, well, cool comparison over here. So as you guys know, the PlayStation has been winning pretty heavily, at least in the global markets. And then the Switch just is in a league of its own. God only knows why there's so many kids and families out there that are buying those consoles. But right now, the kind of big next-gen push is still focused on the PlayStation and Xbox, mainly because as well, the hardware is harder to make. It's a higher-end hardware. It's kind of like, let's say you got to go make 1 million pencils versus you got to make 1 million, like, I don't know, let's go and say tables. It's going to take a little bit longer to make those tables. It's going to cost a bit more. It's going to be, it's kind of like the best comparison to get the Switch out of the way. But for this, we actually now have all the sales numbers for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, and the numbers are actually all, obviously still on the estimated side, are closer than even expected. So a recent report suggests now that the Xbox Series X and S is giving a very tough fight to PlayStation 5 in terms of sales now in the United States, as we kind of go compare these two big behemoths. Though for some odd reason, this little Xbox seems a little bit more crunched in this photo. I just noticed that. So according to a recent report, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S gaming consoles are selling at a surprisingly similar pace in the United States, so it's just a lot closer than we thought. The PS5 and Xbox Series X and S are the current generation of video game consoles designed to provide an immersive and cutting-edge gaming experience that takes full advantage of the latest technology. With faster processors, more powerful graphics, and new features like ray tracing and 4K resolution, obviously these are the most advanced consoles. That's kind of why I brought up the Switch in the first place. So now they're both at a similar selling point and a wide selection of excellent games, there is not much a big reason to choose one for the other. Now, if you guys watch my videos, that's a very not normal statement because there are so many small differences and exclusives, and if you guys have played either or, it's not really that true. But the big thing is that the consoles are very intrigued. So according to the VG charts as well, it's kind of a big one, which is known for tracking sales on video games and consoles. Since the release of the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S in November 2020, the PS5 has now sold, they're going to highlight this especially more just for this conversation in the video, the PS5 has sold around 10.32 million units in the United States, which they broached the 10 million. As of right now, they're in the 20s, getting close to 30s nationwide, well, global-wide. And while the Xbox Series X and S is sold at this point around 9.32 million. Now, some of these are also rumors too as well. If you kind of seen it, it kind of is kind of sporadic just because it depends on the company, depends on the people, depends on the brand, depends on whatever. But as of right now, it kind of seems at this point that the Xbox Series S is actually maybe even outsold the Xbox as well, or also the PS5. So the report also mentioned that in the last 12 months, the Xbox Series X and S has actually outsold the PS5 by a total of 17,000 units. This is surprising because typically Sony's PlayStation consoles have outsold Microsoft's consoles by a significant margin. Now that's one of the more intriguing things to note because typically, as we always mention, the PlayStation has been the big home grower. In America, they know what's up. They want to go and sell as many consoles as they possibly can here in America because they want, well, people to go buy their games and all that. But it seems like the Xbox actually might may have, like, this all estimates, but it's, number one, it's way closer than people are expecting, myself included, who's made these types of videos and discussions before. But two is the fact that if they actually went and outsold the PlayStation, that is ridiculous. Now, in total, the PlayStation has outsold more, obviously, too, but, like, that's just kind of a crazy bump up. It's like the big Xbox comeback, where it seems like they're trying to, well, come back. So here's the initial tweet itself saying, the PS5 and Xbox sales comparison in the United States after 25 months. So if you guys kind of remember too, the PlayStation was kind of selling like really big like hotcakes these past few weeks, few months, especially with stock being available. But as well, this Xbox was pretty much selling out instantly too until like maybe around like 9 months ago or so, give or take. And well, now they've been pretty common. As well, also factor in the Xbox Series S, which has been kind of a bigger seller selling before. If you guys saw some of our Christmas videos too, a lot of those kids were getting also Xbox Series S's. So it almost kind of seems like parents are like, hey, I want my kid involved in gaming. They're cool. We like our kid. But at the end of the day, like, do we want to shell out $500 or $1,000 for a PC? No, not typically. And that's why maybe the Xbox Series S might be carrying the load a little bit more. But this actually might be the first rumored report right now that the Xbox actually may have outsold the PlayStation. Now, that might be a very, very small amount of numbers when it comes to that stuff, but it's kind of crazy to see. So basically, there's a few possible explanations for why the two consoles are selling at a similar pace. Firstly, it's because they're both equally popular, which is true. I think they have a pretty good split. I think as just based on the YouTube channel, the PlayStation has a slightly bigger lead in terms of brand recognition or people, caring about their games. Think like God of War, Horizon, etc. And also at the same time too, the PS5 did have a lot of availability issues. Although I feel like this will be the next upcoming year of 2023 because it seems like a lot of this availability on both ends are kind of being fixed. Now, like globally, the PlayStation 5 still has been selling better. Like I mentioned, China, Japan, like, UK, Australia, wherever. And in some places, like they'll sell like 100 Xboxes. I'm not even exaggerating, like very, very low numbers. So that globally, PlayStation's doing better. But America has been one of the number one biggest markets to be on the lookout for, because obviously we live there. But number two, we're the biggest ratio of sales, because we just buy the most stuff in America. We're very consumer based. So it's almost kind of intriguing to see that as well. So gamers who are looking forward to getting a new PlayStation, or may have actually maybe been choosing to get an Xbox instead. So now with them both being readily available, we can kind of see on which market's going to do better. Now, at the same time, we also do have games like Starfield and Redfall coming out on the Xbox, which also might go and bump up their sales a decent bit. So it's crazy to see this because this actually might be, and obviously these are based on estimates, these are based on rough numbers, etc., etc. But once again, if we have the Xbox maybe potentially now outselling the PlayStation, now 17,000 units, like that's going to take a lot of years to even break up that 1 million hole, like as of the PlayStations ahead right now in America. But like, at the same time, what would ever stop Xbox maybe for this upcoming year to maybe sell 100,000 more, and then the year after, 300,000 more, and at that point, they're getting pretty close. So it's very intriguing to see how this console generation has been evolving, mainly because I think it really has been closer than people have expected, and although the Xbox Series X hasn't really been doing as good in terms of games, Game Pass as well has also been kind of fluctuating a little bit. It does have a lot of gusto, and a lot of people will probably resubscribe to Game Pass when there's more games for it, and as well if people have the option between the two, if Xbox gets some pretty good exclusives in the near future, they may just go and settle and work on it as well. So kind of interesting thoughts. Let me know all your thoughts and comments down below on that one. Kind of a little quick too as well, we also have been seeing Persona 3 having a proper remake. Now, we've had some news because I think this game's getting a lot more attention on like a remaster / remake. So apparently now insiders are reconfirming a leak that they previously shared, restating that a remake of Persona 3 is actually still in development. Now, I'm very intrigued on this one. I never beat Persona 5, but kind of cool to see. Basically saying a leaker that also revealed prior Atlas work is confirming that a remake of Persona 3 is coming and is in development, and what's next to the Persona 5 franchise is a mystery since the release of Persona 5 Royale in 2019. And they've also lingered on an RPG, and they brought to these other various games and all of that, but at some point they do want to make their next game, but maybe they're going to try to maybe push Persona 3 instead of Persona 6. Now, if you guys ever played these weeby type games, let me know. I'm always a big fan myself for this type of style. It's kind of been the big news and big leaks going on too, where all these rumors and big Xbox exclusives might be coming out, because as you guys can see, these new news of Persona might be coming to Xbox in 2022, and the Persona 3 remake is apparently still real as well. So a big thing is that Atlas is still trying to figure out what they want to do, the games are in development, and everything else is all in between. I just want to do a quick little scroll through as well, because there's been a lot of really big games that are coming soon, but I do want to go highlight up here on the Arc Raiders. over here, Armored Core, Assassin's Creed, Mirage, and some of these other games that we did go and mention, when it comes to us like doing those videos a few days ago. But there's a lot more extra scroll through, such as like say the Dead Island or Dead Space or Destiny 2 DLCs or Diablo, Exoprimal, Fantavision, or even Fatal Frame, which we've been seeing a lot of these games, Final Fantasy Remake, Firewall Ultra, some of these VR games, etc., etc. I just want to give a little extra highlight that there's a lot of games coming out on the PS5 and Xbox, so that's why we'll make this whole competition for consoles a little bit more intriguing at the end of the day. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Do you guys think Xbox has a good chance to come back? Let me know. As well, we have the Twitter and Twitch streams down below. Go follow, subscribe with the notifications on, and Amazon and Target links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.